Well, we're here with Joey Terrell. He's a franchise owner for Denny's. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time.
Thank you. I enjoyed the opportunity.
What I want to talk to you about today is the types of energy consumption savings programs that you've implemented into your Denny's. We're here at the National Restaurant Association Conference, and I'm sure there are a lot of franchise owners that really want to find ways to lower their energy bills. So talk to us about how long you've owned the Denny's locations and when you finally decided that saving energy and saving money was, part of what you needed to get done.
Well, we've owned our two Denny's. We've had one Denny's for almost 20 years. We've been a franchisee for that long. Our second Denny's in Joliet, we opened last year, and we were in our location. We never thought we'd want to open another Denny's, but then the things changed at Denny's, and we became very enthusiastic about it and decided we wanted to do it again. But we wanted to find some other things that would help us with our return on investment, so to speak. And so we started looking at things. And I happened to be working in my restaurant one day, and the light bulb burned out over my head. A lot of people, when they get a good idea, a light bulb comes on. Mine had burned out. And somebody had given me a CFL. This is about 10 years ago, when the CFLs used to have to get an adapter, and then you just plugged it into the adapter. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You just screw them in. But what we did then is we had 100-watt bulbs in our restaurant. We had 100-watt bulbs.
Wow.
And so what we did is we replaced this one this one light bulb with a CFL, which was a 13-watt bulb. Well, you do the math, 100 minus 13 is 87. Well, we looked and decided, I wonder if there's as much light as we're supposed to have here. And we looked and found out, yes, we actually had 20% more lumens in light than we had from a 100-watt bulb.
Wow.
So we decided, what the heck, let's do this. Because I sat down, I did the math, and it was 100-watt bulbs times minus 87 equals, well, anyway, it ended up equaling $440 a month in electric savings. And that was just from one very simple idea, replacing your light bulb with CFLs. So I said, well, hey, I wonder what other low-hanging fruit there might be here. It did cost us $3,500 to do the adapters, but you don't need the adapters anymore, you just throw them in. So we wondered what other low-hanging fruit might we have there. And we started looking around, and we came across our aerators. And an aerator, if you have a faucet that drips water, and it drips 8 ounces fills a coffee cup in a minute, it comes to 30,660 gallons of water a year. Here in Illinois, water costs us $7 per 1,000 gallons. So $7 times 30 is, you do the math there, and it can be considerable. And that's just for 1 week in a restaurant. So leaking things is something that we found out. But what we did is we replaced them with aerators. I went around and placed all the new aerators on them because that would stop the dripping and also control the flow of water. But 6 weeks later, I went back and almost all of them were gone. Employees had taken them off, customers had taken them off. Well, what we did is we came back and we put on tamper-proof aerators. And for $1 more, 6 years later, they're still on.
Well, I know that you guys are trying to get LEED certified, your restaurants. So what other steps on the energy side have you had to take in order to make sure that you were going to be able to get your LEED certification?
Well, in Joliet, we looked around for a place to put our restaurant. We found a place in Joliet, Illinois. And the first thing, we were looking at 3 different sites in Joliet, which is one of them. We went to the city and we says, we'd like to do a restaurant here, and we want to do it as a LEED certified restaurant. And they says, okay, well, you can do it, but you have to meet or exceed the standards that the city of Joliet is in place. And so we told them we were going to do that. We got some information from our architect showing that we were going to save 30% of our water, which in a Denny's you use 1 million to 1.3 million gallons of water a year. So we need to reduce our water usage by 300,000 gallons. Well, we went in there with low flow faucets, aerators, our instant hot water system, all that kind of stuff. And we had our architect repair the stuff and showed it to the city of Joliet. And we ended up saving $25,000, 30% of the hookup fees. Originally the hookup fees were $65,000, but because we were conserving water, 30% of our total water and sewer costs more to take the sewer away than it does to bring the water in. But because they told us that they would take $25,000 off of our hookup fees, and so it's a good idea if you're doing a green building, you ask the city if they can help you with something like that.
So somebody's watching this interview right now, they own a couple of restaurants or franchise owner. What types of advice would you have for them when they're looking at trying to lower their energy consumption?
Well, good thing you asked me that. A friend of mine has a 10,000 square foot restaurant. He asked me if I could come over and take a look. He says, my electric bill is killing me, and my utility bill is killing me. Can you come and take a look and see what you can find? I went and I looked at his things, just because he was a friend of mine, he brought me a pizza. And I looked around, and the first thing I did, I walked in and I says, you got these 150 watt flood bulbs in the ceiling, they're killing you. You've got how many hundred of them? Maybe 300-400. And what he did is he found an alternative, which was recommended by the lighting people. That, I can't make that recommendation because I don't understand it myself. But he went in something similar to what we did, replaced a 150 watt flood bulb with a 25 watt CFL or something, 20 watt CFL or something like that. And immediately he had a savings, a considerable savings a month. I think he told me it was almost $2,000 a month.
So what type of a return did you get when you...
Well, the return, it cost him about $2,000 to relamp all of his bulbs.
So he was making that money back in less than a year.
He made it back in a month. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a good thing. One of the things that's really is a surprise to me is a white reflective roof. A lot of people don't even think of that, but you take it on an 80-degree day, the temperature of a black roof is 126 degrees, while the temperature on a white roof is 80 degrees. You have to cool that same air, no matter how hot it is, to 72 degrees for the comfort of your customers. So wouldn't it make more sense to be on a white roof?
And then is it just white paint?
Well, you can't. There's a white elasticizer. White paint probably wouldn't last very long on a roof. But I did see it at the local like Lowe's or Home Depot. It's like $16. It's enough to cover 300 to 400 square feet. So you figure out the amount there yourself. It's not that hard. And instead of coating it with tar, go over that with the plasticized stuff. You can also do it the other way and there's companies like Duralast and a couple of other, as we did in our Joliet store. We have a white roof, and it's similar to Duralast, and it's highly reflective, and it's a real good idea. We also put in skylights now. The return on investment is really hard to justify there, but one thing that we do know, and we've really seen it, it's quite amazing. People prefer to be in natural daylight than being cooped up inside of a building. So, that's a positive, having those skylights. Skylights were made in nearby Arthur, Illinois by the Amish, and they're experts on energy efficiency.
Sure.
So, they are so helpful to us. We had some little bitty things with installation of them, and they helped us so much. They really did a good job for us.
Well, Joey, thanks for giving us some of your time. You're a fantastic testimonial for other franchise owners out there.
One good thing is to contact greenerrestaurants.com. If you're looking to buy appliances, use your Energy Star. Look for that Energy Star seal before you make your purchase. And Fishnet is fishnet.com. That was the source that we originally went to 10 years ago when we first started looking for source for people.
Well, Joey, thanks again, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you very much, Don.